We're just wrapping up 10 days on board the Island Princess. Let's talk about it. Hey, AJ and Sarah here with Byte Size Cruises. We are on our 10th day aboard the Island Princess, and we just want to talk about how the cruise has been so far, what we've loved, what we've not loved, and, any suggestions if you find yourself on the ship, who it's for. All right, let's get into it. So, embarkation. What did you think of getting on the ship? I know it was very long ago.
I was just about to say. I was like, oh my God, I hope they don't ask me right this second, because I was like, that was so many months ago. It was easy. It was fine. Yeah. Literally stress-free. I mean, yeah. I think it was stress-free because I don't even remember it, so I feel like if it was bad, I would remember it.
Yeah, we basically walked right on the ship. There was a little bit of a line at security and waiting to get our medallions, but I would say that we probably spent less than a half an hour in line total.
Definitely.
For sure. The only thing with embarkation that was kind of funny is that Sarah, when they took her medallion out, there was 4 other medallions in the box with it, and we were wondering if Sarah was getting surprise roommates.
The lady next to me was like, oh, you should be happy, and I was like, what? That's insane.
So that was no surprise roommates.
No surprise roommates.
I know of,
I'd sleep on the pool deck if that was the case.
You could have slept in here. I'd have them slip in
there. Oh yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So that was the only weird thing with embarkation, but otherwise it was very smooth. I feel like Brooklyn is a better embarkation port than Manhattan, not that you have that as a frame of reference.
Okay.
And yeah, everything went really well. We ended up getting here a little after noon, and by the time we got on the ship, because I'd say, we got to the Brooklyn Ice House bar thing, it was literally 3 minutes before noon because the lobster roll place opened at noon, but it was 150,000 degrees outside.
Correct.
And the thought of putting lobster in my mouth was disgusting. So by the time we got on the ship, we got on, they told us that we could take our luggage up to our room and leave it there while we waited for the rooms to open, which is something I've only ever seen on MSC, but I'm glad that they're doing that. It probably cuts down a ton on congestion around the ship. But by the time we got up to our rooms were open. Yeah. They made the announcement as we were walking upstairs. So it was delightful. I would give embarkation solid 9 out of 10.
Yeah, because also they didn't give you your elite medallion.
Oh yeah.
So that's probably where it also, it was pretty smoothless, but
yeah. My medallion should have been platinum. And I got a newbie medallion, but I went and they fixed it, which
so easy.
And
3 minutes. Yeah,
I have the elite one, and it's my favorite color. All right. Next up, let's talk about the itinerary. So 10 days is a long time. Yeah. So all of the ports were amazing. But 10 days is a really, really long time to be, especially on a work trip. I don't know, if I was on a vacation with my family, I feel like 10 days would be a different can of worms. And as much as Sarah and I enjoy each other's company, we are also not each other's comfort people.
True.
So being away from our family and loved ones that long is really hard.
Yeah.
That being said, the ports were amazing.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, I highly recommend, if you enjoy longer cruises, if you're thinking of it for a vacation, it definitely is worth it for what it is. We just thought 10 days was too long.
Yeah, that's it.
What was your favorite port?
Oh, Sydney.
Yeah.
Easy. But also, I really loved Portland.
Really?
Yeah, I think it goes Sydney, then Well, I don't know. Sydney, then Halifax, then Portland, maybe. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I could agree with that. Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're you can't, as much as I loved Portland, and that was the first time I've ever been past, just up there in general, or that far up in the U.S., or on the East Coast, you can't put a U.S. port that high if you're going to Canada.
Yeah.
Because Canada was so fun. I loved Canada.
Canada was fun. Charlottetown was weird. Can we
Yeah.
just say that? Like, everyone
It
was
was
like,
weird.
Prince Edward Island's so beautiful, but like,
We were like,
it was
where's the rest
pretty.
of it? It was, yeah, especially that like house area,
Yeah,
that
But-
historic house area.
but it was weird.
We,
Anne of Green Gables really set the tone.
yeah, yeah. It was a little creepy. But there wasn't much else there. Like, not even, like, you could understand if you went to, like, a touristy summer island for, like, from May to, like, last week of August. You're like, okay, every other time it's vacant. But we're here end of June, early July, and there was, like, no one in Charlottetown, and, like, also no architecture or anything.
And there was a parade that happened, and
Yeah.
we, like, they were like, oh, you just missed Prince Edward, and we're like, did we?
There was like no ruckus, no hoot, like no noise about it. It was just
If you like really quiet ports, Charlottetown's right for you.
yeah. It was still beautiful, but like what?
Yeah. So, I would, with an asterisk, I would give this itinerary probably a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might, as much as I've been losing my mind, I would give it more than a 7 out of 10.
Okay. That's why I said with an asterisk.
Yeah,
Because I feel
that's
like
fair.
mine's lower because I like really miss my family.
No, that's fair. That's fair. And this is the first cruise that I've been on with
Work.
just yeah, exactly. So I mean, I don't know. 7 to 8
7 to 8, yeah.
with a large asterisk. Yeah.
Big asterisks.
Yeah.
Ask me again if I ever drag my husband and son on board. All right, next up is entertainment. What do you think?
So I've only been on one other cruise. It was Oasis of the Seas like 6 years ago. That should not be compared to Princess because that's just its own entity. That's its own.
Oasis and above is just,
That's not fair. That's
Yeah.
not fair. So I knew that coming in, and I was still delightfully surprised. I think we saw 4 shows in Princess Theater.
yeah, that sounds about right.
I loved 3 of them. We saw Jugglers. We saw this like weird opera act, which I really liked. All like they,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know what it was called, but like,
That was called Encore.
okay, Encore. It was really great. Like I don't know what they were singing about. I don't know what the whole thing was, and it was beautiful. They were great singers. I really thought they were. What was the 3rd show? Not
That was
the-
She Will Rock You.
Yes, she was awesome. She
Yeah.
was great. People said it wasn't rock enough. I don't really care. I don't know what you're talking about.
She had a very like pink vibe.
Yeah, and she was also like like not even quirky, just like cool. But I
Yeah.
think maybe that offends people. And then the 4th one was horrible, offensive, and
It was disco.
Then we never went to a show after that.
It was disco themed, which I didn't love to begin with. And then there was, so something about these older ships is I feel like a lot of times they are like given hand-me-downs from like the newer ships. And I swear that some of these costumes were on like the 3rd or 4th passing on to a different ship.
Yeah, it was very obvious.
So, because none of them fit right.
Mm-hmm.
And like singers and dancers were amazing, but the costuming was terrible.
So lackluster. Like, so
Like, didn't fit them.
put off, yeah.
And then poor Sarah and a number of other people in the audience, one of the male dancers' pants was split up the back. And I don't know how much you know about dancers. They don't wear a lot under their costumes. So that was scarring. And
That was the last show we went to.
yeah.
And that was like it was halfway
4.
through. 4.
Yeah. But the Movies Under the Stars is really cool. We did go see
Yeah.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And we watched a couple other like parts of things up
Yeah.
there laid on the, because they pull out like the cushions and everything. And then the cruise director team was amazing. The game shows we went to were all really well done,
Yeah.
super fun.
Oh,
The crafts.
the game shows had like sets,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Game shows had sets. Those were cool.
crafts.
We did 2 crafts, also a lot of fun. And then my favorites are the culinary demonstration, the captain's talk. Now the captain's talk was different this time because there's so much fog outside that the captain couldn't be there.
Yeah.
So it was the staff captain, but that was okay. He did an amazing job, and actually I was kind of glad it was him because I have no idea what the captain is ever saying.
Yeah. Yeah. And the man today, his accent was decently thick because, like, when he was, like, talking about, like, the tuna sandwich and stuff like that. Like, Tuner. Yeah. So, like,
Tuna and
sure,
cheese.
for sure. Like, he asked us, he's like, do you guys even know what I'm saying? And we're like, yeah. But there are definitely some words where, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You're so English. You're so English.
But it was really good.
Yeah,
so
he's funny.
The entertainment, I'd give an 8.
Yeah, exactly. An 8. Like a really good 8.
Yeah.
I was happy.
I was very
happy. It was
happy.
really fun.
Yeah,
It was great.
Good time.
Yeah, entertainment was great.
The only thing is that I will say lowered the score at all is there wasn't as much going on as I'm used to on princess ships. And there was a lot more sales events than like there was only like one trivia a day, which is weird, and was always packed because people love trivia. But yeah.
It was awesome. Yeah, honestly.
All right.
Yeah.
Next up is service. Honestly, I give it a 10.
Yeah. There's no complaints.
Yeah. Princess still does 2+ service visits a day, which is awesome. My room steward has been amazing. Sarah's room steward like gave her advice. Shout out to Dawn.
Love her.
And, you know, everyone we've interacted with on the service side has been super kind and accommodating. One of my big things is how happy does the staff seem when you're on here, because I do feel like happy staff, you get better service, but then also, like, it's easier to enjoy your time on board knowing that these people aren't, like, miserable.
Right.
And there weren't, and we'll get to the people, despite the people on board, everyone was always very kind, always smiling, very willing to go above and beyond, especially if you said thank you and please.
Yeah. So, basic human.
We had regular people at the ice cream bar and the pizza bar who were very excited when we came up, and I think it's because we actually say please and thank you.
Yeah, and, like, don't look like we're, I don't know, grumpy.
We don't demand.
Yeah, we don't demand. Yeah.
So, yeah, service was amazing. No complaints there.
No, none at all.
So that brings us to the other people. Look, it's a 10-day. There's really 2 groups of people on board. There's old retirees and people with enough money to take 10 days off of work. I would give our fellow passengers a 4.
I was,
out of 10.
A solid 4.
We had more than one person ask us if the ocean was still there because we were enjoying the view.
Yeah, as if we,
And what was the whale comment?
Oh, what was that? I don't know. People were almost making fun of us for enjoying the view of the ocean and for enjoying or trying to see like whales or dolphins out in the water. Like
Wasn't it like, oh, did you see a whale or something?
Yeah,
but
did
like
you
the
see a
tone.
whale? Yeah, the tone. It's like, no, but I'm looking. Like, I don't know how to answer you.
Yeah.
Like, are we not allowed to spend our time on the deck silently, peacefully, looking at the water and the marine animals that we may or may not be seeing? It was so strange. But I don't know.
Just not nice people. They're just not nice. There was a handful of really nice people.
Absolutely. Our favorite Australian couple.
Yes.
Once we met them, then we couldn't stop seeing them around board. They're
were
so
delightful.
Sweet. Shout out.
The guy behind us
What a man.
at the culinary demonstration touring the galley. He was living his best life.
He had
He was so nice.
Yeah.
And there was a couple delightful ladies we ran into at crafting who were super nice. But
Australian again though.
Yeah.
Most of them were.
And the wonderful Irish lady.
Oh,
there's
Irish,
a theme here.
Yes, it's only Australian or Irish. Well, that goes back to like all the people that we met in Nova Scotia, which they were Irish or Scottish or kind of
we learned.
mixed. we learned that, well, Nova Scotia means New Scotland.
Yes.
And there's more Gaelic spoken in Nova Scotia than there is Scotland. We can't get over that, and it doesn't mean too much to us.
I'm obsessed.
But we're
with
obsessed. Nova Scotia, Halifax, and Sydney. We
Yes.
love.
But yeah, a lot of the other people were very entitled, like to the point of witnessing people just being rude to staff.
Like, genuinely rude.
A kid, like, glaring down a staff member for pushing something behind them and saying, "Excuse me," to get by. Like,
just...
And loud, mean conversations and...
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
4 out of 10.
Yeah.
It would
for
be
sure.
lower if it weren't for the Irish and Australian people. on board.
Exactly. If we didn't meet our, like, two... Because the second, or the mom and daughter duo at Crafts, they were there the second time, but we didn't get to sit with them. But if we were able to sit with them, it might have even brought it up to, like, a 5. But because we met 2 Australian duos or whatever, it kept it at 4. But the people of Canada, 11 out of 10. But the people on the ship is 4 out of 10.
People in Sydney get like a 20 out of 10.
Yeah.
That was the nicest port. Like, honestly, Sarah and I almost really didn't come home from Sydney.
No. But then it would have been illegal. But we didn't want to leave Canada.
Yes. So then let's talk about the ship. We did learn today that this ship is 22 years old, which means Sarah wasn't even in school yet when this ship was born. So how does it feel to be on a ship almost as old as you?
I don't know what to do with that information. I have no idea.
All right, so this is one of Princess's older ships. I will say that the technology on board the ship was really good for it being an older ship. Like, the medallions worked really well.
Mm-hmm.
I think I only had to scan it at my door once. Sarah had to do it a few more times. That's because we had a really big problem with standing at her door and talking, and it would be like, "You must be in danger. I'm not going to let you in your room."
Exactly.
Or something.
It's fine.
But other than that, the TVs worked great. Like, the Wi-Fi was
Awesome.
pretty good. We were able to camera off take calls. We were able to do the live stream pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as like working on the ship, it was smooth sailing that way. There are a few weird things about the ship. Like, you can see there is not a lot of lighting in here. I did my best. There's also only 2 outlets in the room. They are over here, and they are not usable at the same time. They're too close together.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of mirrors. You'll see in the room tour that, like, because you can actually kind of see the mirror over here. I don't know if that'll be in the
So many mirrors.
So there's a mirror to each side. There's a mirror over there. There's another mirrored wall there. There's a mirror in the bathroom. There are so many mirrors.
Yeah.
So that was weird. But otherwise, the ship, it's obvious that the people taking care of the ship care about the ship. I do really like the ship overall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the other weird quirky thing, the pool. On deck 16, there is, and I talked about this in my 10 things I'm looking forward to.
This big.
What?
It has to be like as big as a bed.
Yeah, like it's like,
Anyway, keep going.
it's like maybe 6 to 10 feet in diameter. So I look like I'm hugging Sarah. 8 inches deep.
Yeah.
And it's just sat up on a little open area of the deck.
Random little stationary stagnant splash pool with just turf. I don't even know, maybe a couple chairs, maybe not. Nothing else. Just a random little splash pool in the middle of nowhere on the ship.
Yeah, and it's really, really random. And there were places I found today that I hadn't realized existed. Now, I will say, unlike other Princess ships, this one doesn't like dead end as often. Like, you can actually walk the entirety of 7 and the entirety of 6, basically, straight through without it being like, whoop. It's laid out pretty normally that way. The other really weird thing is the plaza.
Yeah.
Because they do a lot of stuff down there, especially because this was a cold cruise. And the plaza's not really set up to be a stage, but they made it a stage, and
Yeah.
it just is an odd choice.
Yeah.
So it's an odd ship, but honestly, like, I didn't mind it.
No.
At all. Like, I actually have enjoyed the ship overall. I would give the ship a 7.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Little quirks, but it's an old ship, and I would go on it again. I wouldn't have a complaint going on it again.
No. It's honest. I mean, I don't really have anything to base it off of, but I have no complaints for the actual ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which brings us to our final part of the review today. And my friends, this is going to be sad. Let's talk about the food. Let's start on the note of nobody got sick that I know of.
Yes. To preface, the food is inedible in a way of flavor and lack of seasoning, rather than neither of us have gotten sick, and
Yeah.
we've been totally fine with the food we've eaten. It's not like undercooked or anything, overcooked or anything like that where it would make you actually sick.
It's just that it's lacking seasoning. Like, it's very bland food. And now, we didn't do any specialty dining,
No, we didn't.
but at the same time, I'm a little concerned
Yes.
to spend that much money when, we're not positive how the food's going to come out.
Right.
So, unfortunately, well, the food does have one saving grace. And only one.
Only one.
The ice cream.
Soft serve.
The soft serve, the free ice cream, was amazing. Best soft serve I think I've ever had.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 for the ice cream. There was like no crystallization in it. It wasn't grainy. It was smooth. It was creamy. It was thick with 2 C's.
And
So-
the guy who was there every day, he was so nice.
So was the girl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were delightful.
Yeah.
And the pizza.
Delicious.
The pizza was delicious.
That's my favorite type of pizza. I don't know what it entails, but
Yeah, it was really,
it
really
was so good. Yeah.
So I think with the pizza and ice cream factored in, I give it a 4.
I was just about to say the same thing. I was going to say, if we did not rehearse any of these numbers, I was going to give it a 4. I don't know, maybe even a 3. I think the only, I'm sorry, but the only way that this food actually gets a number on the scale is from the ice cream and the pizza. And I'm a picky person in the sense of I just like what I like, and it just makes me happy to eat what I like. But I tried to venture out because I was like, my things that I like aren't here. And it's not that I didn't like it, it's that no one could have liked the flavorless.
We kept joking that it was like nursing home food because even the Indian food, which is notoriously delicious on cruise ships, lacked any spice. And then one time there was really good tandoori chicken, but it was cold, chilled. Not just, the room temperature ran out, but
It was served
chilled, which was weird. And there was also a couple gross things that happened from people in the buffet.
Yeah. But it's the buffet.
We did do main dining for dinner one night, and we did breakfast, and those were fine, but the food still lacked seasoning.
Specialness.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just very, very bland. But again, not inedible, not sickening. It just was eating Indian food, and you have the flavor. Imagine having the flavor, but no spice. I didn't know that was possible.
Yeah.
But it was just pretty weird. Also, a mix of cuisines each night, or just weird pairings of stuff. You would have a meat and pea salad, and it's I don't even know what that means.
Beef and peas cold salad every night.
Yeah, and just weird pasta salads that aren't real pasta salads, or pairing of seafood with weird things, or sauces of weird things. It was just so strange. It
felt like a social experiment at times.
Yes, 1000%. You're how weird can we get? Even the desserts were, it's fine. Desserts were fine.
Yeah, desserts were hit or miss.
Even I feel some of the fruitcakes and stuff were just you're really, we're going to put pineapple with like this. We're going to put orange with this. It was just, they had to try to be that unique.
Yeah. Bonus category, sunsets.
11 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially the Canadian sunsets.
We saw so many beautiful sunsets. I just had to throw that in there. All right, so I will be doing the disembarkation, sorry. I'll be doing the disembarkation after it happens. We are both in the walk-off group, and we should be able to get off about 7:15 according to everything, which we are very much looking forward to being home with our families. But barring anything going wrong with that, oh, you know what we didn't talk about?
What?
The weird immigration.
Ooh, you take that away, because I don't have any experience.
So normally immigration is part of our disembarkation thing, but we actually had our immigration early. When we came into Portland, they made us go through immigration there, and it wasn't like a huge deal. It was very similar to what we go through in New York, except it happened on the ship.
Yeah.
And so that was like weird, and it made us miss part of our time in Portland, which was probably the thing that made us most upset about it, is that it wasn't like, oh, as you're getting off, do the disembarkation, which I feel like would have been like, all right, if you're not planning to go off the ship, go here. If you are planning to get off the ship, go here. And it would have been fine, because it doesn't take long.
No.
It's just like, all right, scan your medallion, scan your face.
Right.
Why not do that while we're getting off the ship? And instead, it happened. It's like we missed an hour and a half by the time we got it done.
Yeah.
In port, which sucked. But barring anything going wrong with disembarkation, what would you give the trip overall?
Oh, with the service and just Canada in general and the ship being fine, like a 7.
I was thinking a
7 out of 10. The food was so disappointing that it has docked it down like that much, but service has been amazing. The weather's been great. I mean, you can't really, you can't control that, but I would give it a solid 7.
Yeah, I feel like if the food had been better, I feel like the trip wouldn't have felt so long if the food had been better.
Yeah.
And then also, I feel like if the food had been better, it would have been like the perfect trip.
Our spirits would have been better.
Yeah. So. Yeah. But it's been a delightful time.
Yeah, especially for my first work cruise and really second cruise ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if you have enjoyed this journey with us and want to see the vlogs coming up, please make sure you like and subscribe. It helps the channel out. We are steadily growing, and I would really like to continue growing. So there's that. And then, when we're done with disembarkation, I will put that right here. All right, so disembarkation. It went fantastic. It was simple. It was easy. Because we had done immigration in Portland, we didn't have to do it in New York, so we literally walked right off the ship, and we got off the ship about 7:35, which was a little earlier than expected. We were up to the Brooklyn Ice House pretty quick, and we made the 8:15 train home, so we were home by 10:30. They really streamlined disembarkation across the board, mainly by not announcing when the walk-offs begin. So you just go where you are, where they tell you to be, on the little sheet where the walk-off's going to be, and you go from there. And it really worked great. So disembarkation, I would give it a 10 out of 10. It went perfectly well. We did wait in line. We were down there at about 6:30, so we did wait in line for about an hour, but that was also because we were really anxious to get home and see our people. All right. Thank you all for coming along on this journey, and I will see you next time.